I wanted to go to India. I wanted to see what India was like. It's a completely different culture than, I guess, what we call Western culture. And on the other hand, also biotech and pharmaceutical companies have been moving to India. And a lot of people talk about what the cost advantage that India companies have over US companies. And so I really wanted to go and firsthand see, like, how do these companies operate? What is it that makes them have this advantage in the market, and be able to experience that for firsthand. I think the opportunities here in India are very different than in the US or at MIT. In my previous internships, I did research experience in an academic setting, and so the research goals were very different. The research goals were almost to find out the answer, to find out a new way of doing things, to be very experimental. Here at Dr. Reddy's and in other pharmaceutical companies in India, it's a very practical reason that we do research. I'm developing assays so that they can run a clinical trial to check to see if the drug is working. And so the research here is a little more conservative, and it has more of a purpose to it, you see the end goal. Dr. Reddy's is actually the largest pharmaceutical company in India. It also was voted the 4th best company to work for. And working for Dr. Reddy's is a lot like working for Microsoft in Redmond, in the sense that Dr. Reddy's is the biggest company in Hyderabad, and it has a lot of respect in the town. It also has a lot of resources and a lot of people that you can talk to when you have problems. And so the good thing about working for Dr. Reddy's is that I'm getting the India pharmaceutical experience on an almost national level. And a lot of the people that I work with here are actually from the US or Canada or have worked there before. And so it helps with the transition because some people understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of what I'm learning here that I'm going to take on with me in life is two things. One, that how these companies work here and exactly how I could be able to form partnerships in the future. Whether I'm working in an academic setting or a pharmaceutical company, I'll always have the contacts here and the experience of working here to understand how I can take my research in the future and be able to use it again with Dr. Reddy's or with another pharmaceutical company here. Internship experience will affect the decisions that I make in the future with regards to my professional career. I'm going to pursue a PhD next year, but after that I haven't decided whether I want to go into academia or a pharmaceutical company. So I think that this experience here will give me a better idea of what it's like to work for a pharmaceutical company. And also, if I go into academia, how I can partner with a pharmaceutical company. I think my favorite part about being in India is actually experiencing the culture. One of my favorite pastimes on the weekend is actually shopping, I will admit, because I have a great shopping partner, and also because it's really fun to shop here in India. Everything's handmade, it's beautiful, it's colorful, and also just seeing what a different culture's like, eating a different food, just experiencing what it's like to drive on the roads here is an adventure. And I think the best part about being in India is the people as well, because people here are so friendly and they're so nice to people who they've never met before in their life. They treat you like you're one of their cousins or brothers or sisters. In the future, I think that the best way to maintain ties with India is actually through the personal connections you make. So I've worked here at Dr. Reddy's, but really it's the individuals that I've formed friendships with here and worked with here that I'm going to end up keeping in touch with. And whether they are continuing to work with Dr. Reddy's in the future or other pharmaceutical companies, it's those personal connections that will help me build a business in India, build partnerships in India, and come back to India someday. I would tell people that this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You should definitely do it. People will tell you that there are significant health concerns, that you don't know anyone, but when you get here, as long as you've learned about the basics with healthcare, as long as you've heard about the basics with respect to culture, then what you'll really have is you'll still be healthy, because I'm healthy, and you'll be able to form relationships with other Americans. You'll also be able to form relationships with Indians. I have some very, very good friends that I've made already, and I've only been here for 2 weeks. And I'd say that you will be so happy that you did it, so definitely do it.